You now know the fundamentals of wealth building, from the true benefits of being wealthy, to the wealth equation, to the mindset you must develop, to the levels of goal planning called financial protection, financial independence, and financial freedom. These are the most economically liberating ideas you'll ever learn, and there should now be nothing but time between you and the wealth you want to accumulate. This, however, may seem a bit difficult to believe if you are one of the vast majority of people who live under the burden of debt. Debt is an interesting phenomenon that can lead to financial strength if it's managed well, such as when you're borrowing to invest in a house, your education, or your own business. However, much more often, debt leads to great financial weakness. This sort of debt results when our buying power far outpaces our paying power, when we live beyond our means, and it's this sort of debt that we'll address now. Debt can intrude on your ability to manage daily expenses, to build a financial foundation for the future, or just to feel a basic sense of security. When debt runs our lives, its symptoms can even mirror those of physical illness. Some people in this condition wake up every morning feeling run down, and doing anything productive becomes just too much. After all, it's hard to be hopeful when it feels as if your neck is in a noose and you're afraid someone will kick out the chair. But this is exactly the sort of feeling that your mindset of wealth can help you overcome. Debt is inconvenient, certainly, and very unpleasant, but it's not an insurmountable barrier between you and your financial freedom. It simply adds a new element to the wealth equation. Wealth equals earning plus saving plus investing minus debt. And you just need to approach this variation with the same discipline and determination that you'll now bring to all of your financial management as a result of your wealth mindset. Believe that you will be free of debt, take the proper actions, and soon you'll be leaving that old noose behind forever. Now, there's some disagreement among financial advisors about whether you should pay off your debts before making progress toward other financial goals, or whether you should do both at the same time. The result to your net worth is about the same either way you go. Since so much of becoming very wealthy comes from your attitudes, you should decide what would make you feel better, wealthier, and more in control of your finances. Is it first conquering your debts so that you're free to create your wealth from a position of strength? Or would you find it more motivational to start putting money away towards your financial protection, while at the same time making payments to lower your debt? I myself would prefer to save money at the same time I'm paying off what I've borrowed, but factors that may enter your own decision range from the amount of money you owe to the level and deductibility of the interest rates you're paying. So you have a strategic decision to make in that regard, but the one critical strategy for managing debt that there's no questioning is this: stop borrowing. Don't make your debt worse even as you're trying to pay it off. That's truly mortgaging your future to pay for your past. Once you've frozen your debt level, there are a few different strategies for paying off what you've already borrowed. The first is paying off your debts in ascending order, from the smallest to the largest. This works best if you owe money to several different sources and are making monthly payments to each one. If you owe money to several credit card companies, for example, and are putting a few $100s toward each one every month, try this strategy. Begin paying only the minimum payment on your larger debts while channeling the money to your smallest debt that you otherwise would have spread around among your larger debts. When the smallest one is paid off, concentrate on the next largest, then the next. In doing this, you're consolidating your debts while steadily freeing up more money to put to your larger bills. And as they're wiped out one by one, a new level of financial security is built. This method has a great impact on your mental outlook and mindset of wealth. You can imagine what a great boost it would be to see a particular debt eliminated, never to return again, especially when it happens quickly, as when you're targeting your smaller debts first. Another method you may choose, depending on what sort of debts you have, is first paying off bills with the highest interest rates or those with non-deductible interest. Or you could also consolidate all your debts with one low-rate interest loan and make steady payments toward that. Obviously, any one technique or system will not necessarily work with equal effectiveness in every case. I highly encourage you to make up your own plan if none of the ones I've mentioned seem appropriate for your level of debt or personality type. The most important thing is that you approach your debt with some sort of strategy for eliminating it. As long as you make steady progress and have a strong mindset of wealth, the exact system doesn't really matter. Do whatever makes sense for you. Again, the psychological element of reaching financial strength is just as important as the practicality. It's interesting to see people improvise approaches to getting out of debt because these individual plans make so much sense on an emotional level. The person who freezes all of his credit cards in ice or cuts them in half, for example. Or the person who breaks her $5,000 debt into a more manageable mental chunk of $1,000 at a time. knowing that putting $100 toward $1,000 feels like more of an accomplishment than putting it toward the whole amount. But no matter where you are today, your financial strength can improve if you're willing to face your situation honestly, discipline yourself, and live according to plan. Eliminating your debts will make you strong. Putting the wealth equation to work for you will make you absolutely invincible. I guarantee it.